Yes, now it's okay. Yeah. So Brahmayan, Sarvabhutani Yandrarudhani Maya. Yeah, no. We were discussing about the heart. See, Akasha is space. We know that space gives space for everything to dwell, right? All the Prithvi is in waters, and waters in Agni, Agni in Vayu, and Vayu in space. That is the reason why the Chidakasha is taken as the heart. Chidakasha is that space, the Chit, I mean the consciousness space in which the Mahakasha stays. Okay, the Mahakasha and all together, Akasha, Vayu, Agni, Jalam, Prithvi, all these elements stay in space, and this space is an appearance in consciousness. Okay, in consciousness. That is why it is called Bodha Akasha. I hope I am making some point here. See, Bodha Akasha or Chidakasha is given that the name as Chidakasha, and also it is the heart center, or it is the heart because there the space appears. Space and associated. Anything that is in space also appears in this consciousness. Shailendra ji, your video, can you please switch it off the video? Please switch off the video. Can you switch off the video? Yeah, thank you. Because
sorry, Guruji. Sorry.
No, it's okay. Because a lot of light is flashing here and there. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, no problem. So, that is the reason why we call it as Chidakasha. Chit means consciousness. In consciousness, in our consciousness, we experience a space, right? So the space is an appearance in the consciousness. That is why it is called Chidakasha. And this Chidakasha is the heart. That makes sense now? In this heart, Ishvaraha Tishtati. Then why Sarvabhutanam? Sarvabhutana means everywhere moving and that is not moving, sentient and insentient. Now the question is, what is insentient? There is nothing that is insentient. Everything is sentient. Okay? How to get into this? What do we think as insentient and what do we think as sentient? We see sentient things which are moving, talking, right? Doing something. We say that this is sentient. Like human beings, we say sentient. The animals, we say it is sentient. Or the birds, we say sentient. Okay, trees also sentient, we say. The ant, the mosquitoes, everything is sentient. Whereas, we see certain things as insentient. Like the rock, okay, the rock or the dead body, we say it is insentient, right? We think that it is insentient because it is not moving, it is not talking. But you see, we have to understand one thing. How do we say that something is insentient? Say, suppose we say a rock is insentient. What is rock? Rock is a Prithvi, is it not? It is Prithvi, the Bhumi. Sun is insentient. Moon is insentient. Right? This Vayu is insentient. This is how generally people think. I'm not talking about you or me. I'm generally talking about general way we see that insentiency. Birds, animals, plants, humans, etc. We are sentient because of sun, Vayu, Agni and Prithvi, etc. We will not be sentient if these Mahabhutas, Panchabhutas, these Devas are not giving us life. So we live because of the presence of Vayu, Agni, Prithvi, waters and sun, etc. How these plants, animals and humans can be sentient, which gets its sentiency from the sun, Prithvi, Vayu, etc. It is not possible. Right? We cannot be sentient where we live out of all this. So, all of this have to be sentient. If they are not sentient, how we can be sentient? So, the discrimination between that is sentient and this is insentient is totally wrong. It is a wrong concept. From that point, we can say that everything is sentient. Right? That is why even Mahatma said, before you lean on a tree, be careful. Watch. Right? That is as sentient as you. So, everything is sentient here. This is one way we can understand that this point. Second thing, there is not a single point, that is, there is not a single point in this universe that is not moving. Right? Vibration is there in every point. Even science has proved it. Prana is there in every point, whether it is a solid or a liquid or a gas or any form, there is vibration there. Every cell in this universe is throbbing. It is vibrating. And we already know that a movement is not possible without a mind behind it. Without a mind behind it, a movement is not possible. We know that very clearly. Anything that is moving, there has to be a mind. And this is what we generally call as sentient. The only thing is, on a rock, okay, or a piece of log, or even a dead body also continuously it is disintegrating, right? There is movement happening, there is vibration happening, there is change happening in every point. Universe, every point changes constantly, it is changing. Behind this change, there has to be a mind. In that way also, we will come to a conclusion that there is nothing insentient in this universe. Everything, every being is sentient. One point. Second point, as I told earlier, the plants, animals and humans cannot be sentient, which draw our energy from the things we think as insentient, right? Like the sun or moon or the Vayu, etc. So, everything is sentient, and from where this all of this is lighted up. From where? From consciousness. There is a Chaitanyam in every one of us. There is Chaitanyam behind a rock. There is Chaitanyam behind a human. There is Chaitanyam behind a Devas. There is Chaitanyam behind anything that we imagine. There has to be Chaitanyam, or this consciousness, or the consciousness which is inside us, which throbs inside us, which gives the notion that I. From where the I notion arises, from where all of the cells move, right? Behind every movement, the presence of that Chaitanyam is there. This is a presence. It facilitates, right? And that is, we call it as Ishvara in this verse. Ishvara Sarva Bhutanam Hrideshe. This Hridayam is the consciousness. That means everything is consciousness here. Everything is conscious. Every being here is conscious. Everything is sentient. That is what I am trying to say. Okay? And behind all this sentiency, the consciousness is there. Chit is there. Chaitanyam is there. Which says as Sat Chit Anandam. The existence. I exist because of the existence of that Chaitanyam, which says I know. Right? I know. All the knowing means awareness. right? The thing is aware. That is the chit. And its swarupam is ananda. Natural state is shanti, quietude. It is the nature of the consciousness. That is why it is called Satchidananda. So originally it is Ananda. Okay, this Ananda is being clouded by ignorance. It is clouded by avidya. And from that avidya, what is the avidya? That I don't know myself as Satchidananda. I don't know myself as this Chit. I don't know myself that I don't need anything from outside for my Sukham. Okay? My Sukha, I am Sukha Swarupa, I am. This every Jiva forgets, or those who forget are constantly looking for happiness from outside object. Because of ignorance, all of us look for happiness from outside object. That is the reason for all the suffering. That suffering is an external product. Okay, this suffering is coming from outside. So inherently or inside the natural state is Sukham. Okay, Dukkham comes from outside. Originally it is all Ananda. That is why it is Satchidananda. Okay, existence, consciousness, bliss. Bliss is Shanti, peace. Okay, naturally everyone is at peace. This peace is destroyed because of an affinity towards an external object. Okay, this is what we have to understand here. So this Ishvara, this consciousness which is Sukha Swarupam, which is naturally at Sukham, stays in every being here. That means everyone and everything is originally Sukha Swarupam. Right? So that Ishvara, Sarvabhutanam Hriddeshe Arjuna Tishtadi. So this heart is everywhere. This heart is not located in one point in our body. But for contemplation, etc., some Mahatmas said that it is on your right side, right side above the navel, etc. It is given because it is for contemplation or for keeping your mind focused, that's all. But originally this heart is Chidakasha, Bodhakasha, the consciousness space. Okay, in that space, Bhagavan Tishtati. Okay, so Sarva Bhutanam is to know that it is everywhere. That is the reason. Sarva Bhutanam, Charam Acharam, which is moving, which is not moving, everywhere Arjuna he Tishtati. And sitting there, what this does? Brahmayan Sarva Bhutani Yandrarudhani Mayaya. Right? Brahmayan, I mean, it gives, it facilitates for everything to do their karma. So the karma, the actions, the vibration, the change in the form of energy happens, the change happens in consciousness. Right? Consciousness is not making us do anything. Brahmayan does not mean that Bhagavan is making us revolve around and all that. No, Bhagavan is not making us revolve around. The Jiva does it on their own. The Prakriti, the Swabhavam does on their own. But without the presence of consciousness, this vibration will not appear. The appearance of this vibration is because of the presence of this Bhagavan. That is how we have to understand. Like electricity. Say, electricity is there everywhere. In every fan, bulb, or a heater, or a refrigerator, anywhere, electricity is there. Right? But the thing that is functioning is the compressor, the motor, that is one running. But the presence is required. The presence of the electricity is required there. Similarly, the presence of Bhagavan is there in everyone and everywhere. And the karma happens there. Okay, that is how we have to understand. So, Brahmayan Sarva Bhutani. The Shakti, then what is the Shakti? Yandrarudhani Mayaya. This Maya Shakti is there. Maya Shakti is this, the energy that is there, it is the Shakti of Brahman. It is a Shakti. So this cannot be separated. This the Shakti and the Shiva, or the Brahman and this Maya cannot be separated. It is inherent with it. One who understands this transcends Maya. Okay? One who understands this. No intellectually. That's all. It is there. That's all. We don't have to, it will not cause any trouble. That is how we have to understand this. So again we read this. Ishvara sarva bhutanam hriddeshe arjuna tishtati brahmayan sarva bhutani yandrarudhani mayaya. Yeah. One point is, Bhagavan, this Ishvara cannot be seen, but it is felt all the time. You cannot see God, but God stays in everyone. The presence is felt by everything and everyone. So when you touch a stone, you experience the stone. The stone is also experiencing you. There is no doubt there. We can say, maybe the stone is experiencing me. We don't know. You have to become a stone to experience this. This way also you can answer. But the truth is, the stone also is experiencing your touch. How we experience it, the touch means any sort of feeling that you get, any sort of sensual experience that I am talking about. The same way, the stone is also experiencing. Suppose you are talking, the stone is listening, because it is sentient. Whatever sense organs it has, it will experience whatever the connection or the contact happens, whichever way the contact happens. So we have to be thorough here. Everything is sentient, everything is Chaitanyam, and everything is Atma only. There is not a thing Anatma. Anatma is not there. Okay? This we have to be thorough here if we have to understand the full meaning of this. Ishvara sarva bhutanam hriddeshe arjuna tishtadi brahmayan sarva bhutani yandrarudhani mayaya. Brahmayan means here, it means that everything is vibrating because of that. Everyone is doing their karma or the action that is happening in the presence of consciousness only, in the presence of Bhagavan only. Why I am repeating again and again? So that we understand it very clearly. Not that Bhagavan is making us do all karmas and all these problems and all that. No, not that way to be understood. Bhagavan is like a light on a stage. Right? The light that is there on a stage is we have to understand like that. In the presence of light, things are happening. In the presence of light, Swami Bhagavan Ramakrishna Paramahamsa said, in the light of a street light, right? Someone is reading Bhagavatam also, and some theft is also going on. Like that. Okay? So everything is happening here in the presence of that Chaitanyam, and that Chaitanyam is Tishtati in the hearts of all beings. Right, we will go to the next one. Then what to do now? We have understood that this point. Now Bhagavan says, Tameva saranam gaccha sarva bhavena bharata tat prasadat param shantim sthanam prapsyasi shashvatam. Hey Arjuna, who is born in Bharata Vamsham. Tameva, that Ishvara who dwells in all the hearts of all objects here, Tameva saranam gaccha. You surrender to that God. You surrender. You don't exist, Arjuna. Only that consciousness alone exists. Nothing else exists. So you do that, surrender to that. Tameva saranam gaccha. It is advised to all of us. Just surrender to that consciousness. Nothing else we have to do. Nothing else we can do. Tameva saranam gaccha. Sarva bhavena. What is the bhavam? Sarva bhavena means all of this. Whatever we see, smell, taste. Sarvam Narayanamaya. Whatever we see here, it is all the manifestations of that same consciousness. right? The consciousness itself is appearing as all of this. There are no two things, right? Consciousness and the names and forms. No. Whatever the names and forms, whatever is appearing is consciousness. The snake is rope. There is no snake, but rope alone exists. Even when the snake appears, it is the rope. Whatever we see here, smell here, taste here, everything is that God alone. Sarvam Brahmamayam only. That is the bhavam here. Sarva bhavena means that Ishvara who dwells in all objects of this world, Sarva bhavena Sharanam Gacha. Sharanam Gacha. Take refuge in that Ishvara, thinking that while walking, while moving, while doing our whatever job we are doing, all the time you see God in everything. You see through, like an X-ray machine. You see through. See that everything is God alone. Right? That constantly you teach the mind. Arjuna, you teach your mind. Sarva bhavam you teach. Sarva bhavena you see God there. Sharanam gacha, and that God you surrender. Then what will happen? Tat prasadat. What is the prasadam? We already explained. Bhagavat prasadam is Shanti is the Bhagavat prasadam. The peace of mind, when we have peace of mind, that peace of mind is God. That means we touch God. When we have a Shanti, whenever we feel a Shanti in our heart, at any point of time, at any situation, we get a Shanti. That means we have touched God. That is how we have to understand. So, tat prasadad, the Bhagavan becomes pleasant. Bhagavan becomes pleasant. That is a prasadam, and it is a blessing as Shanti. Param Shantim. Here itself Bhagavan says that ultimate peace is obtained. And that is the Shashwatam Sthanam Prapsasi. You attain that state eternally. What state? Shantim. What Shanti? Param Shantim, which is never lost. Right? The other times when we get the peace, it is we are touching God, but we lose it. Because of the ignorance, we lose that Shanti. Whereas when we are constantly in touch with God, when we do that Sharanagati, right, the peace is never lost. That means all the attachment towards the objects of this world is disconnected. There is no ahankara, there is no I am the doer thing, and absolute peace of mind which never falls, right, which never goes back. We will never get disturbed again because we know our true nature, that Aham Brahmasmi, I am that Brahman, you are that, and I am Atma Brahma. Everything is Brahman. And what is this Brahman? Prajnanam Brahma. That is the first thing. Aitariya Upanishad says Prajnanam Brahma, the consciousness, the ariva, right? That is the Brahman here. That is Bhagavan, and that reveals as Param Shanti. That Shanti, that the peace of mind is that one gets, or one when they touch, always will be at a peace of mind. There is no going back. So what to do for that? Tameva Saranam Gacha. There is no other way. There is no other. Whatever we do, wherever we go, we have to constantly remember this. Teach the mind the same thing again and again and again. Okay? Nanyah Pantha. There is no other way. Seek refuge in Him alone with all your heart. O Arjuna, by His grace you shall gain the supreme peace and eternal abode. Okay? And the whole, see, our spiritual life, everyone's spiritual life is quest for Shanti only. We are all looking for Shanti only. Right? There is, and the peace is realization. Bhagavan also said earlier, Ashantasya Kutas-sukham. Then Sarva Bhavena, there is a beautiful explanation in the Mundaka Upanishad. all the expressions of the mind and the body are of God. All the expressions of the mind and body also are God. Mean, whatever expression that is coming out, right? Anything that is coming from the mind, everything is God alone. The Upanishad says, Tade tat satyam yatha sudiptad pavakad visphulingaha sahasrashaha prabhavande sarupaha tadhakshara dvividaha Somya bhavaha prajayante tatra chaiva piyanti. This is true, O dear. As from the flaming fire, sparks of the same form issue forth in thousands. See, if there is a fire from there, sphulingaha, the sparks that is emitting from a fire, it is the same fire only. So like that, whatever the expressions, whatever that is manifestations here, it is all like the same fire, the sphulingaha, from the same fire. It is all fire only, right? Similarly, all the manifestations of this universe is same God alone, consciousness alone. Okay? And from the immortal then proceeds bhavas, diverse manifestations, and they find their way back into it. And also they go and merge into the fire only. Right? So all the manifestations are the manifestations of the God. That is what Mundaka Upanishad says. Now we'll move to the 63rd verse. Iti te jnanamakyatam guhyat guhyataram maya vimrishyaita dasheshena yadhechasi tadha guru. Thus, the wisdom that is more profound than all the insights has been declared to you by me. Reflect upon it thoroughly and do as you choose. See, Bhagavad Gita is a pure jnanam. Who said this? Krishna himself told this. Bhagavad Gita is jnanam. That is what at the end, it is 63rd verse, Bhagavan says, Iti te jnanam akhyadam. I have given you the ultimate wisdom. Right? So, the bhakti, karma, and so many other margas, etc. Right? All these are there. They are all various methods to give jnanam. They are all methods. Through bhakti, you have to realize the truth. Through karma yoga, you have to realize the truth. Right? So, all these lead to jnanam only. Whatever I have told so far, so many, all the chapters you can remember. Right? What is it all together, put together? What I have given you, Arjuna, is jnanam. Iti te jnanam akhyadam. Anyone has got any doubt? Please read this. Jnanam. Bhagavan has given jnanam. Iti te jnanam akhyadam. Guhyat guhyataram maya. It is the secret of all secrets. It's the secret of all secrets. Then, what to do? Vimrishyaita dasheshena. You analyze this with your intellect. Use your yukti. Use your logic thinking. Work yourself. And yadhechasi tadha guru. After that, you do what you feel right. So here there is a confusion that yadhechasi tadha guru. Krishna has given him full freedom to do whatever you want. I have told you whatever you think and you do whatever you want. It is not that. Yadhechasi tadha guru. No. Bhagavan is going to say, you are my favorite. You are my dear. You are so dear to me. And he will say that you do whatever you want. No. It doesn't mean that. What it means is that you analyze this jnanam. Based on this jnanam, you format your life. Based on this jnanam, you format your life. So the condition is there. Right? What is the condition? Condition is you analyze. Vimrishyaita asheshena. Without doubt you analyze this jnanam. Whatever I have told you so far, whatever margas and whatever methods I have told you so far, everything you analyze it. So every one of us have to do vicharam. We have to analyze this jnanam and we have to format our life, not somebody's life. Right? Every individual have to format their life. They have to, what work I should do, how should I behave, how should I handle problems, right? That is how we have formation of how you format. You analyze this based on jnanam, not the worldly knowledge, but atma jnanam. Through the atma jnanam, every individual have to find a way to get out of this samsara dukkham. So A cannot advise B what B should do. A can give jnanam to B and B has to find a way out. Right? Say like this is like, suppose there is a big forest and many people are stranded over there. From overhead you are getting a message that there are some signals where to come out of this forest. So every individual have to find their path to come out. The signal may be, if you hear the water flowing, you can, and if you hear one siren, like that some guidance is given. Right? These are the clues. If you get this, okay, this is the land. You can come out of this. This is the area how to get out of this forest. So like that. But every individual has to find their way based on this knowledge, right? Similarly, here, just a small example only, what we have to understand is that jnanam is given to you, Arjuna. Now, you decide what to do. You come out of your karma vasana by whatever. He knows exactly. Bhagavan knows what Arjuna should do. But still, it is the duty of Arjuna how to come out of it. He has to work on his mind, his intelligence. He has to work and find the truth and get out of it. Similarly, every one of us have to understand this and make it our own. The knowledge have to be made to our own. We have to assimilate this knowledge. So that is the importance here. So itite jnanamakhyadam guhyad guhyadaram maya. Why it is secret? Even though this knowledge is available, it is secret. Why it is secret? It is not easy for somebody else to give it in a cup, in a plate. Everyone has to do Atma Vicharam. Right? Everyone has to find out. They have to think. What is this Bhagavan saying? What is this? Na jayate mriyadeva kadajid nayam bhuta bhavitava na bhuyaha ajo nitya shashvatavayam purano na hanyate hanyamane sharire. Right? And what is this that doesn't die and you are that and everything is that only? How is it possible? How is it possible? And we have to analyze this. If something is there, if there is a thing which is never born, which never dies, then it cannot be the body. Right? It is not a matter. We have to work on it. If it is not a matter, what is it? What is it that is there in me that is not a matter? We have to analyze. Every individual have to analyze and have to find that consciousness. Oh, this is the one. Okay, because of which I am able to see, because of which I am experiencing a universe using the instruments, mind and the sense organs and the body, and through that the matter outside. Same matter, the body is also matter. Right? So with the sense organs I experience a matter, this body, and all other matters. And I am not matter. I am not matter. So that every individual have to find that. What is that? What is this consciousness? Right? That is why it is Guhyadaram. It is there. It is available at all times. But we have to find out. We have to analyze and we have to find out. That is why it is Guhyam. Even though it is available, but still it is secret. Because you cannot see, you cannot smell, you cannot taste. With the sense organs, whatever you can grab is easy. It is not Guhyam anymore. It is not Guhyam. It is not a secret. Whereas this is secret. Even though it is there inside us. It is there with everyone. But not able to find. That is why it is secret. Okay, that is why Bhagavan says Guhyad Guhyadaram Maya. vimarshetad asheshena yadhechasi tatha guru. Then I thought we will finish up to 65, but we will stop at 63. We will continue from next class. Okay. So now today I think Sheila ji will be taking up one sloka and going to give us explanation. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, sir. So today I chose another verse from chapter 2. I'll just read it first. Sri Bhagavanu Vacha, it's 55th verse. Prajahati yada kaman sarvan partha manogatan atman yevatmana tushtaha sthita prajnastadochate. So this verse is in is what Bhagavan is telling Arjuna in response to Arjuna's question, who is a Sthita Prajna? Um, and when we look at Sri Shankaracharya ji's explanation, Sthita and Prajna is one who is well anchored. Well anchored is Sthita, and Prajna is one who is well anchored in self knowledge, knowing oneself. So the first part of this is Prajahati yada kaman sarvan partha manogatan. Um, the Sthita Prajna is well anchored in the self knowledge and is not disturbed by any of the happenings around him to the body mind intellect complex. There are desires that come and go, but very clearly understands that there is a good distance between himself and the desires that come and go. That happens to the body mind intellect complex. And even when there are desires, very clearly those desires are well rooted in self knowledge and always in that which is not disturbing the society or the surrounding that they live in. So their desires are well rooted in self knowledge, and also nothing that disturbs the surrounding. It is nothing that binds them to a point of I must have this or I must do this. They are not in that mode. That is the specialty about Sthita Prajna's desires. And um, the other thing is, yeah, these are the two main points about Sthita Prajna in this first part of the verse, where it says the desires are definitely there, just like any other jiva. They also experience pain and happiness, sadness and sickness, everything they go through. But they very clearly understand it is not me who is going through this, but it is the body, mind, intellect complex that is going through whatever experiences are going through. Uh, and also, the second part of it talks about tushtaha. They are always in a calm and accepting mode with the prasada buddhi of whatever the body is experiencing, whatever they are experiencing in that life. When you compare this with a regular jiva, what happens is it's all about the willpower for a jiva. The jiva has good willpower and tries to um, tries to always have goals, in, let's say, in a daily, in desires in their day-to-day life, but very easily they give in at the last moment. Like, for example, um, what happens is, for example, take an example of a day. In a day, if the person is having certain goals set, let's say in terms of their health, they feel they have done wonderfully 3/4 of the day, and then in the last minute they can give in easily, saying, oh, I've been so good so far, I can now let go of whatever those restrictions I have followed, and easily given, and hence the long term goals get affected because of that. This is not the case in the case of a Sthita Prajna. Sthita Prajna is well rooted in their determination, knowing very well who they are, who their true real self is, and stays focused in that, and always does actions which is helpful to the people around, to the society around, as well as rooted in self knowledge. So, that is the challenge for a jiva, to try to be with that kind of a willpower, not giving in easily to, um, you know, um, I think I'm looking for that word which I know I have made a note of. Um, trying to look okay, it's okay. I don't seem to. Instant gratification. That's the problem with the jiva. Jiva easily gives into instant gratification, unlike a sthita prajna. So that is the challenge that we face, jiva versus a sthita prajna, which is brought about in this verse. Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, well said, beautifully said. Only thing I want to just point out is that the Sthita Prajna, the karma flows through Sthita Prajna naturally. There is no goal. For a Sthita Prajna, there is no specific goal that this, there is no adamancy in it. There is no adamancy in it. So, whatever has been, this is my understanding, whatever has been practiced earlier, whatever has been practiced earlier to be a Sthita Prajna, okay, that whatever is Swabhava, okay, that the Swabhava changes, as we have already saw that the Swabhava changes. Through Jnanam, the Swabhava, I mean the Sattva, Rajas, Tamo gunas change. They change constantly through Jnanam when it changes, at when that the individual has realized. Then after that, there is no goal, okay. Whatever is happening, it just happens. There is no goal. There is no ahankara in a Sthita Prajna. There is no notion of I have done it. There is no adamancy. And there is absolutely, say the Loka Sangraham also is happening for a Sthita Prajna. Loka Sangraham is also not a goal.
Okay.
In the highest level, there is Loka Sangraham is not a goal also. It happens.
Okay.
It happens through that body-mind complex. That is how we have to understand. Otherwise, what will happen is, if suppose there is a goal, and if doesn't happen, the Sthita Prajna also will get affected by it.
Okay.
I mean, that is how I have understood.
So not like a binding desire. It's not a
There is
binding
no
goal.
binding desire at all. It happens. His truth. That is not a goal. The goal is realization of the truth is the goal for a. I mean, initially, and once the realization happens to a Sthita Prajna, then it continues. The body continues to flow. As per the prarabdha, the body continues to function as it is capable. Okay. So because why I am saying is prajahadi yada kaman manogatan, all the kamas are prajahati. It is gone. There is no goal of even swaloka sangraha.
Okay. Oh, I see. Okay.
But then
Thank you, sir.
the body, what to do with the body? That is once it is realized, what to do with this body? The body will continue. It is as it has been habituated earlier, whatever the body has been doing earlier, it will continue to function. Okay. So there is no specific goal. Krishna said, no, Name partasti kartavyam trishu lokeshu kinchana. I have got nothing to do in trishu lokeshu. I have got no kartavyam. Now kartavya means, oh, I have to do this for loka sangraham. It's not there.
Not like that. Okay.
Okay, that point only. Otherwise, everything is correct only, beautifully said. But this point
Thank you,
only
sir.
I wanted to make that. Name partasti kartavyam trishu lokeshu kinchana. I have got no goal. Loka sangraham is not a goal of Krishna.
Okay.
It
Got
happens.
It happens.
It happens. When it happens, he will not take any doership for it. The Siddha Prajna will not take doership for, oh, you have done something, etc. and all that. The Siddha Prajna might smile, and he might even say thank you also. But inside, the Siddha Prajna knows, this is not, I am not the doer at all. I am Akarta. Brahman is Akarta. So Siddha Prajna is a Brahman, and Brahman is Akarta. But it happens through that. So suppose say there is an obstacle in whatever the body-mind complex is doing. If there is an obstacle, that Siddha Prajna's body-mind complex will try to evade it to the best of that body-mind complex possibility. But inside there is no kartrutva.
Okay.
I hope I am
Yes.
it makes sense or not what I said.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. Yeah. Okay. We'll do that. Peace chanting. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate Om Shanti 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 Om Harihi Om Tatsat Brahmarpanamastu.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.